Similar to California missions, when it's science fair time, there never seems to be enough books, but there's some great sites that can help young patrons, and today I'd like to take 10 minutes and feature 3 websites in our bibliography on science fair projects. The first site explains the whole process, from choosing a project all the way to creating a presentation board and giving an oral presentation. The second site shows examples of actual projects and provides summary statements, and the third site points you to books that you can cover a particular project. To start, from anywhere on our website, you can access our bibliographies by clicking on the Research Center tab. Our bibliographies are organized by subject, and we're going to start with age-specific and then drill down. So I click on age-specific. I'm then going to click on children and young adults, and then I'm going to click on science projects and science resources. You'll now see a list of our resources arranged alphabetically on the right side. I'm going to start with the second link, California State Science Fair, Getting Started with Your Project. This page provides links to sites to help your patron get started on their science project. The first site that I want to feature is this Discovery Channel School Science Fair Central. It provides guidance for good science fair projects by identifying the types of projects opposed to their subjects. It's divided into 3 steps: getting started, science fair projects, and science fair presentations. The Getting Started link explains the difference between an investigative experiment and an invention. The projects are then divided into one of these 2 categories. Step 2, Science Fair Projects, breaks down the entire project and shows some sample projects. So you can see there's investigative project steps and investigative project samples, invention project steps, and invention project samples. If we click on investigation project steps, it will show you the whole project, from choosing an idea all the way down to analyzing data and drawing a conclusion, as well as some extra little handouts over here. So if we click on Choose a Project, it lists the different projects, and it breaks it down by elementary school, easy projects, and middle school and high school, more complex projects. And if we go back, we can look at some sample projects. If we click here on birds, it's going to give us a 4-page document that explains the whole project. It has the research question, the hypotheses, the materials, the procedure the student followed, the data, and then finally the conclusions. And finally, step 3 provides information on how to create the display and give the presentation. If I click over here on how to create a winning display, I'll see an actual presentation board and all kinds of tips on how to put the board together, graphics to think about, the photos, how it should look. It provides an actual shopping list, and then finally how to deliver a good oral presentation. And here it provides tips for the students on doing the presentation. So that was the first site, how to pick and create an entire project. And the second site we're going to look at is back on the California Science Fair site. And it is the Science Fair Projects and Experiments by Branches of Science. And this site contains topics, ideas, resources, and sample projects for primary, elementary, middle, and high school students. Unfortunately, you get ads first, but if you scroll down, you'll get a list of scientific subjects. And I'm going to click on botany. And again, you need to scroll down past the ads, but here you'll get a list of different topics in botany, some interdisciplinary topics and related subjects. If I click on seeds and germination and scroll down, it gives me the name of the science project, and it breaks it down by every grade level. So there's primary school, elementary, middle, and finally high school. The R stands for the summary, and S is an actual sample project. So let me scroll down to where there's one of both. So soil temperature versus seed sprouting. R is just going to show you the project summary. So it gives you the name, the title, the abstract, and then the statement, and then I like that it says his father helped him with his report. And then if I go back, I can look at an actual sample one. It's the S. And this is Michael's presentation. Here's his presentation board. Fortunately, this is on green with blue type, so it's a bit hard to see. But if you click on hypotheses, you'll see his hypotheses, his experiment design, and if you scroll down, it gives you his whole project. And here's another one, the effects of X radiation on seed germination. This one's a little bit easier to read. This is Eric and his project board, and again, if we scroll down, we can see a sample of his whole project. So this is a great way to help your patrons see an actual project. So for the third site, I'm going to go back to the Reference Center, and I'm going to scroll down to the S's and look for Science Fair Project Index. This is an updated online version of the print indexes that were published by Scarecrow Press between 1960 and 1989. The search fields are by subject, keyword from the title, experiment, the grade level, and information from a particular book. So I'm going to click on the subject search. I'm going to stick with botany. And here if I hit enter, it doesn't do anything. It takes me back to the index page. So you have to use their search button on this. And then once I get this, I get the list of subjects with botany, and then over here will be a list of the books that are pertinent. I'm going to move the frame down so you can see the bottom of the page, and I'm going to select page 3, possible projects in botany, and then if I click on the book titles here, it shows me that the book title is Getting Started in Science Fairs from Planning to Judging. So this is a nice way of taking a very broad title and being able to find exactly botany within this title. It's on pages 40 through 57, and it's for grades 3 through 5 through 6 through 8. 3 through 5 and 6 through 8. So that was the third site. And in conclusion, we started at the Reference Center. We drilled down through our subjects starting with age specific, then chose children and young adults, and science fair projects and science resources. From there we clicked on the site California State Science Fair, Getting Started with Your Project, and we looked at two sites. The first one, Discovery Channel School Science Fair Central, was the site that showed how to choose a project all the way to creating a presentation board. The second site, Science Fair Projects and Experiments by Branches of Science, was the site that showed actual projects and provided summary statements. And then finally we went back to the Reference Center and looked at the Science Fair Project Index, which pointed you to books that covered a particular project. So while we can't promise you an anxiety-free science fair season, hopefully this tutorial will help you patron get the information for the desired science project.